Hi, Adam. How are you, and where do we find you today in this difficult moment?
Well, hi everybody. I'm back in Budapest, back home, and trying to stay fit and enjoy the weather and enjoy family time.
Now, obviously, you spent 4 years at Liverpool. What are your sweetest memories?
Uh, I had some good memories, especially at the beginning. The whole thing was new and amazing, and you became part of this amazing organization to play in front of like 60,000 people. Um, and then to play in Anfield, that was magical. For me, the first game when we went through by penalties, that was great memories, and and even after that, the cup games were great that I played. The traveling to train with these players and trying to be as good as them, and also I know exactly what they did, how much they worked, what type of work they did to get there, and I was one of them. That is a huge thing in my opinion. But fortunately, I don't know if I wasn't patient enough, but I wanted to play. So as soon as I didn't see the chance to challenge for the spot, I wanted to go and play somewhere else.
Looking back now, do you think that you should have been given a bit more time?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you are, unless you are bought for a good amount of money, and you you're talented, of course. Then you get more chance, more time. Like you could see a couple of keepers, in. But I went there for free. Uh, I was second, so I wasn't like the main guy. So therefore, after a couple of mistakes, you're a little bit more easily uh, pushed aside. I was still part of the team, still third choice. I still played one game at the end, and they wanted to keep me as a third choice. But like I said, for me, my intention was always to try to play. And if I don't see that chance to be able to challenge for the spot, I would rather even drop down a league, but to play.
Now we see a lot of goalkeepers playing up to a late age, even in their 40s. Do you think that further in your career, the doors still might be open for you to return to Anfield one day?
Realistically, no. I think that's gone. Of course, with football, you never know. But at the moment, I'm trying to put together a run of games that I can play. Every time I start playing, it's something, maybe like an injury happens, or this closure of the games, or so. Yeah, I agree with you that players tend to play longer. You need to do a lot to be able to do that. So by stretching and recovery and look after your body much more than they previously did, I think, players. Um, if that happens and I can stay fit, then then I think I have the ability to play in a good level, and then see where that takes me. But realistically, I don't think I have to think of that at the moment.
You spent 8 years at Bolton. What does the club mean to you personally?
Well, first, for me, Bolton means the especially the stadium means the home stadium for me. So that's the when I think about like a home stadium, that's the Bolton Stadium. That's what I know the most. That's what I play the most games, and I always like the stadium. The team means, of course, a huge deal, and I still, for example, when we got relegated, that's the memory that I still so sad about it, that we didn't manage to stay up in 2012. So emotionally, probably I would say I'm the most attached is Bolton. Um, the best memories, one of the best memories is played there.
Martin Petrov was a former teammate of yours when you were at Bolton. What kind of a player and a person was he?
Martin, yeah, he was a great player. He had a great left foot. Um, so I was sitting next to him at the bus actually. So no, he was good. He had a little bit of like an attitude to him, like. he was quite confident in his ability and his own personality. He was coming from Man City, so I think he found a couple of things a bit different at Bolton that he was at Man City. But I think we had great times. If I remember right, he came in 2010. So we had a great season before the season we got relegated. So I was quite friendly with him. We kept in touch.
Another Bulgarian player who you faced was Dimitar Berbatov. What kind of a striker was he?
He's a genius. I mean, he's an out of, he was above, ability-wise, I think you could see that he was above most of the strikers and most of the players in the Premier League even. So he was just so good to watch, like when you watch a good movie or like a good actor or something. Like, it's just he was something special. The goals he scored and the teams he played, top player.
Moving on to the national team and to the Euros, Budapest will be holding 4 of the games next year. Do you think that this will still be the case? I mean,
the team and for the supporters as well who went to Marseille and went to those stadiums and they was amazing. And here in Budapest, the city was stopped. People they stopped the trams. People were like on the streets. It was like just fantastic memory. So if Hungary can host the Euros and Hungary is there, so that's the main. That would be that would be amazing.
What qualities do you have more to show to Marco Rossi than the goalkeeper right now who is holding the first place, Peter Gulacsi?
Yeah, well, at the moment I think he's number one, rightly so. He's playing in the highest level for many of the keepers. My problem has always been the bit of an inconsistency of game time. So I've been injured quite a lot. So I think my answer to that is I have to play. I have to play consistently, and I have to play in a level that is possible to go to the national team. So at the moment I'm quite far away from that because I haven't played for a while. There's no games to be played at the moment, and they have 2-3 good keepers at the national team. So number one is to play, do your best if you play, and then we can start talking about how to get back to the national team. But it's steps. I always see it as when I played in the national team, I always seen it like, okay, you need to keep your position at your club, and then you need to play good, and then you have a chance at the national team.
What does the name Ferenc Puskás mean to the people of Hungary?
Well, I think it means the most, in terms of football. When you say football in Hungary, that's straight away the name you get. We had great players from that era, but definitely Ferenc Puskás is the one that is the symbol of that whole era and the great footballing memories, or the best team we had. When you think of that team, it's Ferenc Puskás. Although we had the rest of them are down as legend and stadiums named after them, and some of, and we also had Kubala who played in Barcelona, but the most well-known player is him.
Can you share with us something from the kitchen, as they say, something from the changing room, a moment looking back now that you think it was quite funny, or it was something interesting that not many people know about?
I guess what would be interesting for the listeners to hear is maybe how it's done at Liverpool. When you come into the halftime, you always get a couple of clips shown what you could have done better as a team, and a couple of clips of what you should do, and if you do that, you can break the team down. So the way it's done at Liverpool, I thought it was excellent. You have one guy connected to the video guy who sits upstairs, and then during the game, Jurgen Klopp tells the guy, okay, cut this clip and cut that, save that, and then they go into the meeting. They have 5 minutes when you can do your stuff, and then they come in and they show you three clips or two clips, and then visually you straight away know what to do. So I think maybe that's what happens in halftime at Liverpool is quite interesting.
You as a football professional, how much did football take from your life?
If I wanted to, okay, let's say when I was at Liverpool, and if you want to do it properly, like that it's every day. So it's full time, because if you're not training and you're not doing the second training, with the gym, then it's recovery, and all your mindset it should be about recovery, about what you eat, what you drink, what you do. And because there are so many games, it's almost impossible to relax in a way that normal people would do. So you go out, have a couple of beers and stuff like that. It's almost impossible at Liverpool. Whereas in some other teams, you can, maybe the demand is not as high, so therefore you have maybe a Wednesday off or a Sunday. So then you can go for dinner. You still need to be obviously professional. Think about the recovery as when you play and when you train. It's recovery. So it still requires, I would say, 90% of your time and your family's time as well, because you're on the same schedule. So you have the footballing, the games and the training schedule and everything. Everybody around you has to adopt to that. And yeah, so it's not easy, but it's not the worst thing, You get to play in great stadiums, and then you stay fit, you stay healthy, and yeah, but yeah, you need those three people around you who accept that football schedule is the number one schedule.
Looking back now, what would you say would be your biggest disappointment in your career?
Oh, definitely the relegation with Bolton, for sure. That's the biggest. That's the biggest disappointment, not just for me personally, but for the whole club and for the people and in that town. It proved to be a huge thing. The Bolton couldn't get back to the Premier League after that. So for me, that's definitely that. It's nothing even come closer, because I always think like, yeah, maybe individually for me, a couple of games at Liverpool that didn't go according to plan, and that I couldn't stay in the team. That's personally disappointing, yes, but it doesn't come anything close to the fact that we got relegated with Bolton.